What's up, y'all? So I just made a delicious patty melt with some caramelized onions and bacon. I paired those with some Parmesan garlic fries, and I made the fries in the air fryer, so I guess we could say it's somewhat healthy, right? So let me show you how to do it. First thing I did was prep the fries. I got some russet potatoes all cleaned off, and I'm going to show you guys how to slice the potato to make some homemade fries. So I started off by trimming off the edges of the potato, and then to give myself a flat surface to cut with, I'm going to trim off just a little bit of each of the sides as well. Doing this is going to help us to ensure that we can get like nice uniform or semi-uniform cuts on the potato. So after I got a flat surface, I'm going to cut these into about a 1/4 inch slices, put laid on this side, and then cut those about a 1/4 inch as well. That's how you're going to get these shaped fries right here. The next thing you want to do is put these fries into a bowl of some ice cold water. The ice cold water is going to help to release a lot of the starch in these potatoes. It's going to help us to make sure that we can get a nice crispy French fry. And yes, I would do this process whether I was air frying, deep frying, putting them in the oven, all of that. But yeah, get them into the ice cold water, move them around a little bit, just agitate them, and you'll see that already some of the starch is beginning to release into the cold water. Alright, and we can move on to the next step now. Okay, so while the fries are soaking for about 30 minutes, we're going to start working on the bacon. So I got some thick cut bacon. To make this process easier, all you have to do is put the bacon in the freezer for like a good 15 minutes before you start to slice it. But I went at this with a sharp knife and just sliced about 1/4 inch slices of the bacon as well. You can keep the bacon whole and chop later, but I noticed that the bacon cooks more evenly and a lot more fat gets rendered down in my skillet when I cut it down first. Next thing you want to do is get a medium-sized onion. I cut off the tip of the onion and then I sliced it in half.
I'm sure you could.
So many people ask me like, how do you cut onions without frying? And the only thing I can tell you is if you have a sharp knife, it's going to cut straight through the onion, and a lot of those enzymes that get released and cause you to fry don't come out as much if you're using a sharp knife. So we're going to take this onion and we're just going to slice it straight down. Once again, if you would prefer the onion to be diced, you can do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and slice the onion even though we have the diced bacon. I'm going to get that bacon into a cool pan. Doing it in a pan that's cool first just allows more fat to get rendered out of the bacon before it actually starts to cook. Once your bacon gets cooked down looking like this, that's when you're going to go ahead and add your sliced onions into the skillet. Now we're working over medium heat. Once we add these onions to the bacon, we're just going to cook these down. Once these cook down a little bit, the onions are translucent, I'm going to go in here and add some of this balsamic glaze to it. Balsamic glaze is nothing but balsamic vinegar and brown sugar that's been reduced. So if you don't have balsamic glaze, you can go ahead and just put some balsamic vinegar and some brown sugar in here and just allow everything to reduce as the onions and the bacon caramelize. Go ahead and reduce the heat to medium-low and then set that to the side. We're going to let that reduce on its own. Next, we can go back to these fries. I drain all the water off, and now I'm going to get them on some paper towel and pat them dry. The reason why you're going to pat dry the fries is because that moisture in the fries is going to stop the fries from getting crispy, whether you're air frying or deep frying. So make sure you pat them dry.
Good old avocado oil.
Then get them into a medium-sized bowl and then hit them with a good amount of avocado oil. I like avocado oil more than olive oil. That's just my preference.
All-purpose seasoning.
Mix that up a little bit and then hit it with your
veteran-owned business, Blazing Salt
Make sure
Barbecue.
that you season these fries like vigorously. The seasoning doesn't have much salt in it, so I was able to go into it with a good amount of seasoning before I put these on the air fry basket. But anyway, mix the oil and the seasoning until it looks like this. Get it into an air fry basket, tray, whatever you got, and then just make sure that they spread out evenly. Or as best you can, and then throw them in the air fryer. So next we're going to work on the actual patty melts. Alright, so I got a pound of ground beef and I'm going to split it into 4 different portions. I'm going to get those portions into balls and then let them aside so that I can prep my cast iron skillet that we're going to use to actually cook these bad boys up on. This is 80-20 ground beef, by the way. If you want to use something more lean, by all means go ahead. I got some of the bacon grease that we rendered down into a cast iron skillet over medium-high heat, and I'm going to add the burger patties or the burger rounds to that cast iron skillet. Don't worry about forming them into the patties, because what we're going to do is take a spatula and some parchment paper and just smash these things down. Very similar to a smashed burger, but just to make sure that it's almost the size of the bread that you're going to use for the patty melt. I hit the burger patties with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and then I flip them over. Because we smashed it down, they're not going to take very long to cook because they're really thin. So it's only going to take about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Since we're working over medium-high heat, they're going to get a good sear to them. I'm gonna top one with some Swiss cheese, and I'm gonna top the other with some smoked cheddar. Use what you prefer, but I just like the flavor balance of these two. And then cover it to steam it to make sure that the cheese melts completely. After about 20, 25 minutes, this is what your caramelized onions and bacon look like. I could honestly eat this by itself with a fork and just go to town. Alright, so I got some bread toasted in the same skillet that we had the burgers in after I took it out. I hit the bread with nice burger mix. This sauce is ketchup, mayo, mustard, a little bit of hot sauce, and relish. A little bit of garlic powder, and I mixed that all together, and now we got this nice little burger sauce. So I'm gonna hit both sides of the bread with that. Don't skip on the sauce, I promise you won't regret it. And I'm gonna go ahead and put both of my burger patties on one side of the bread. Remember, the one is Swiss cheese and the other one has the smokehouse cheddar on it. I'm gonna top it with some of that caramelized bacon and onions, and then top it with a little bit more of that Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese actually has a good cheese pull to it. You don't have to worry about the flavor profile changing too much. I got that into that skillet over medium heat and toasted both sides of the bread until it looked just like this. Golden brown and beautiful on all sides, and don't worry, if you burn yours a little bit, my great grandmother told me that burnt food makes you pretty anyway. Alright, so it's going to be nice and crispy. We're going to slice it down the middle, pair it with those fries that we made earlier that are nice and crispy as well. And this is what we looking like right here. Straight up diner vibes at home because we got the patty melt with the fries. We honestly always didn't have burger buns growing up. Sometimes we had to throw the burgers between two pieces of Wonder Bread. And this is what we got. It's a wrap. Let's go.